What would you consider as your major accomplishments?
First of all, I am really thankful for CCNSO community to give me the opportunity to work in IDN CCPDP Working Group 4 in the main full group and also in the subgroup of deselection as a chair. And I am also thankful for giving me this opportunity to work as a liaison to IDN EPDP of GSNO. Now, if I consider that development of CCTLD in India is also a part of development and work for the CCNSO, yes, we have grown ourselves very rapidly, and we are growing at a rate of almost 32% year after year. And today we are 2.9 million CCTLD registrant with us. And most important thing is that we are able to promote IDN in 22 languages. I think this is a major contribution which we are able to do that. And now we have also formulated a policy to extend a helping hand to the nearby country for establishment of IDN CCTLDs and also for implementation of universal acceptance. So these are work which we have done. Now the focus which we have is number one, capacity building, because a lot of new GTLDs are on the frame to get allotted. So I think with the DNS abuse and all those things is a disturbing area. Capacity building at all level, whether it is registry, registrar or registrant, I think it is important. And second, I think it is important to keep an eye on the development on in GTLDs with the new GTLDs which are there, so that we can ensure and preserve the rights of CCNSO council members and also CCNSO community.
How can we encourage new participants for the CCNSO Council that permits to continue our work after we leave as a counselors?
It is interesting that more number of people should join CCNSO movement. So let us first look at the objective of CCNSO. It is to nurture the consensus. It is for technical cooperation and for skill building among CCTLD. I think these are the three pillars on which we have to work. And I personally feel that still there are several countries which are unconnected to CCNSO Council. So first thing is that we have to start connecting them and becoming part of us by capacity building, by giving information to them, by holding the webinars and teaching them what is the importance, because it is very, very important if the community together work and then we raise from the bottom up approach, that is a multi-stakeholderism. I think the movement will be more stronger and we should be able to contain more problems and more futuristic shocks comfortably, because internet is becoming a part of us. So I personally feel that if we are able to do that, we will be able to not only attract the more countries, now coming to attracting the young population. Young population, like in India, we have started Internet Ambassador. So those people, young boys and girls, we are taking from the colleges. They are going to various states and various cities. They are spreading the message of internet governance and CCTLD, CCNSO missions and what CCNSO is doing. And we are able to generate a lot of momentum in the college girls and boys and also young entrepreneurs. So this is the way I think we should involve more and more people.
Which working group would you recommend to someone who is new to CCTLD and ICANN operations?
It's an interesting question. When somebody is joining for the first time, we have to see whether he or she is coming from a technical side, or he or she is coming from a non-technical side, or is new altogether in CCTLD community or CCNSO community. So I think in all the three areas, one has to choose in a different way. For example, what B has said, in case you are new and you want to just go along with what you're doing, I think the SOPC is a good choice for the people, or guideline review committee may be a good one. But in case you are from a technical side, whether you can join as an observer or you can join as a member in the standing committee, then I think the technical working group can be joined. Or people like us who are managing the CCTLDs, they can join the working group like PDP working groups or IDN CC-PDP working group.
All the candidates at the current process are older males. Besides the regional diversity, how can the CCNSO grow to get a more diverse council in the future? Is this a concern for the CCNSO?
I think the CCNSO Council is now well structured into different zones where representative at the leadership position comes from different zones and they are able to represent. The second changes can be a gender equality. And I personally feel that this particular equality is also there. Right now, I don't see that there is any need for correction of the disparity at the CCNSO Management Council. But yes, what we were discussing previously is that we need more young blood, more young ideas, new ideas. So definitely we have to include more number of young people to give the new ideas, new opportunities, and new thought process in the CCNSO concept. Thank you.